So I've gotten a lot of questions about creating levels in MakeCode, so I thought I'd put together a quick tutorial here. Just some basics on how one would go about doing this. So you can follow along with me down here. Let's take a look at some code here. So I have a 3-level game here that I created here, and it's very basic. It doesn't have a whole lot going on here, but it's important to understand what is going on. Okay, so let's come back here. So the first thing you're going to need to do to be able to use the set tile block, we're going to do this before we do anything else here, is go to your extensions, scroll down until you start seeing colorful ones here, and then there's an extension which I've already installed, so you're not seeing it show up here, but it's called color color. Let me just see. Color tile map. Let's just take a look here. Color coded tile map is the name of the extension you'll want. So, so that's step one. And then you'll have this block here that you can create a map of tiles based on color. This is kind of important because you can set those to do things. So anyway, what we've gotten here is a set variable. So you would create a new variable, and inside of it I've added an array, so that would be down here, of of various images. So we have array of and that's how you get that one. That one isn't like the most easy to find because it starts out blank or empty. So to get this thing for images here, you would click that empty one, and then you can add those in and then drop your images in. So I just wanted to show that too. Okay, so these are my levels, and they are tile maps, and I've set anything that's going to be green. So if I had a bunch of green squares on here, it's actually going to change because of this block. So any of my green tiles in these tile maps, they're all going to change to this face thing. And it will have a wall function on it. That is a nice use of using the tile map feature because I can keep using that green block in all my levels, and they're all going to stay the same with regards to what it's going to look like. So as you're building out more complex than the smiley face, this makes your life a lot easier. We have another variable here, next level variable, and we're going to start it at 0 because this is on start. So that's important. So, but that's going to start with this block here, which you can see. Okay. And now let's come over. Well, we can just keep going down here. So then we have some sprites that are different kinds. Somebody had asked about trailing something, and I made this silly way to do a trail of like this thing jumping around. So there's also move, and then there's a function being called at the bottom for building the level. So let's look at that build level function. All right. So we have an if conditional, and what we're trying to see is whether or not the person wins in this conditional. So we're going to look at the next level, okay? And remember, it starts at 0. And when it equals the length of the array of levels, so boom, 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 that's the length of that array, it's going to say you won because you've gone through all the levels. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So that's that part of this function. It's also setting the tile map to the level here. And in this area, we have a loop for the value of all the orange tiles. That's where the player is going to get placed at the beginning of all those levels. So that's how you can assign where the player starts. And then once this runs, it'll change to the next level. It'll increase by 1, which would take you from 0 here to 1, and then next level would be 2. All right. And there's this forever loop going on, and that's strictly just for this trailing feature. So you can look at that if you were thinking of doing something like that. And here we have our sprite that's set to a specific type of player. When it hits any green tile in the tile map, it's going to call this function again. All right, so that's how we jump from one level to the next. It's really just like a hitting the wall thing, and that's how it's gonna know to go on to the next thing. So you can go 1, 2, and then that last one, this is going to cause the number to be the total length of the array, which is going to be boom, boom, boom. Once we get to that, you'll see that it's going to say game over, you win. And that's the basis of building out levels. Although they're just 2 blocks here, that gives you kind of how someone could go about making a level. This isn't the only way, but this is one way. And using arrays is kind of a nice idea too, because I can just keep making more levels here. So thought this could be helpful. It's really only helpful if you were trying to make a game with levels, but it wasn't self-explanatory right off from the beginning, so I thought this would be a helpful one. Oh, and by the way, this code, you can click the link and you'll be able to see all this too, so then you can mess around with it, but you'll have a good starting point so that you know that it works, and then you can modify it however you'd like. So hopefully this was helpful. Good luck. And building levels is actually pretty cool, so I say go for it. All right.